Hello, my name is Carmen Johnson.
Welcome to
Welcome to
my
my
Venture Adventure
Adventure
presentation.
presentation. My venture is called the Tiny House Hotel, and it is an alternative accommodations business idea. The idea is to design and build a tiny house or micro home in a residential area and have it available as an alternative to renting a hotel room or staying at an Airbnb. I love design and architecture, and I also love the travel and tourism industry and have a long background working in tourism in multiple facets. For timing for this venture, it's right because once we are post-COVID, people are going to be wanting to travel again, but interest is trending away from large hotels with shared public spaces, and people are looking for private accommodations as a safer alternative. The interest in the tiny house concept is growing worldwide, and there are many amazing projects taking place. This speaks to a cultural shift towards minimalism, green construction, and other micro-living concepts. The process I went through was an iteration of my very initial idea. I then created an MVP and used interviews and feedback from my build, measure, learn loop and further iterations. My initial idea was an entrepreneurship idea for my existing business, which is a fly and fishing lodge. This picture is of one of our original log cabins, which we are no longer using because it needs to be replaced. They occupy a very tiny footprint, and the assumption is that you have to build bigger to make them better. I believe you can build better without going bigger, so I was challenged to pursue a design that would offer an improved experience without expanding beyond the original footprint of the building. However, this is a seasonal business and therefore makes the return on investment for a small cabin challenging. We're also trying to sell this business and have plans to move to Victoria. So I iterated my idea using the same tiny house concept, but planning for a year-round location with the proposed first house to be built in Victoria. Most of my research was done face-to-face at work and with family and friends over the phone. My MVP was a mock website landing page to show what the concept looks like to me. Here is one image of the landing page, and here is another. To explain the concept of my idea better, the idea is to start off with one residential property and build one house to start, but ideally two microhomes on that property, with a lot of thought put into the landscaping to create beautiful, functional, private outdoor spaces. This process could be repeated in other locations, in other neighborhoods, or other cities. Every microhome or tiny house would have luxury amenities, be of a simple modern design, and be around 450 to 650 square feet. My value proposition statement is revolutionizing micro-living in architecturally designed urban micro-homes, a safe, comfortable, luxury alternative located in a city near you for vacation and short-term stays. My business model or business strategy statement is that the Tiny House Hotel venture offers an alternative to hotels, resorts, and Airbnb rentals. It fulfills the customer needs beyond the physical space of somewhere to sleep for the night. It incorporates elements of social giving and green building. The concept is scalable and can incorporate a collaborative economy component as well as other strategies. I want to speak briefly to what my idea is when I use the words tiny house or micro home. These images are not my intention at all. Each house in the Tiny House Hotel project would be built with similar design aesthetics, function, and quality luxury amenities. Beautiful, functional outdoor spaces are an important component as they are integral to tiny house living values. Hand-picked curated interiors with functional items and art from local artisans, and when I say local I mean at a neighborhood level, all chosen by the home's ambassador. Bright, light-filled, airy spaces with beautiful tile and fixtures, quality high-end linens, beds, and furnishings to help create a high-functioning space in a small footprint. Each microhome in each location would offer a very similar experience encompassing the concepts of minimalism and modern design. The experience would be one that would create a desire in guests to return again and reduce my customer acquisition costs. The neighborhood location concept is an important one and was chosen for cost purposes and to enhance the guest's experience. This is also a focus on the importance of location, which is vital in any type of property development project. I have focused on three main customer profiles: a couple with teenage children, a single young professional, and recently retired empty nesters, all with a penchant for traveling and having sufficient disposable income. Cost and financing. This is a very capital-intensive project with typical business startup costs, but the land acquisition and building of the house would make up the bulk of the funds required. My approximate costs have a large range, as it would really depend on the timing of the venture, where it's being done, the availability and cost of land, and local building costs. Because I would have to come up with a large amount of cash myself, I decided to add a private investor component. One of my biggest iterations was in the financial aspect, and that was to make the investor more of a partner in the venture and have them become the ambassador to the property that they are investing in. This would entail a time component, which would increase their personal ROI. I love the ambassador idea for so many reasons. That really got me excited, and as I started to think about it more, I realized that as this business is scaled, each investor could assist the next ambassador partner by investing a tiny amount into their project. This builds a team that is working together towards shared goals and is also sharing in the risk. The investment opportunity becomes closer to within reach for more people. There are a lot of win-wins with this component, and I feel there may be more iterations to come on this. A shared website and reservation platform would support marketing and sales for all of the tiny house hotel locations. Online marketing would be established through online ads, social media, and partnering with local trade and travel entities. For my sales forecast, I used a bottom-up approach, especially as I am using data for just one initial property. So even at 100% occupancy, this makes up a tiny portion of the serviceable available market, or SOM. As additional tiny houses are added to the tiny house hotel concept, efficiencies and profit would increase, lowering the break-even point to less than 50% occupancy. Every community faces housing issues, and I would love to have this business support a venture that is creating alternative affordable housing concepts. In the concept of lean startup strategies, I can truly appreciate now the importance of creating an MVP. My proposed business will require a substantial cash investment on my part and a strong partnership with the bank for additional financing. I already have in mind what I would do for next steps, that being creating a full mock website to gauge consumer interest, researching the appeal of my project to potential private investors, and reaching out to additional people I know in related industries, which I've chosen not to approach yet during this initial phase. The triple bottom line framework has come alive for me during this process. The people, planet, profit consideration can be found in my venture and resonates with me personally. I feel very engaged with the service industry because I love doing something that brings joy to people. I can make environmentally friendly decisions by using green building techniques, solar power, and using technologies like recycled rainwater systems. The sustainability framework allows success to be measured in addition to financial health. So overall, my venture adventure experience was positive. I'm excited to finally sink my teeth into something and be creative. This idea fits my effectual means. My iterations would not have been possible without the great people that I was able to connect with to hear their feedback, questions, and ideas. The most surprising thing is that my iterations led me to a very unique hybrid financing structure. I assumed the iterations would end up being about the houses, but that was not the case. I am definitely interested and excited to take this idea further with next steps. Thank you.